Okay. Hi, my name is Farida, and I talk to Black and Muslim women about living a life of ease through remote work and travel. I am talking with Bayinnah Shah of Mint Bayinnah, and
Mhm,
let me pull up a little introduction for her. Meet Bayinnah, a bold voice for self-worth, inspiration, and unapologetic ambition. Her
mhm,
journey is rooted in choosing herself again and again, even when it
mhm,
isn't easy.
mhm,
Through the highs and the healing, Baina has embraced a deep self love journey, one that's taught her the power of standing up for herself, setting boundaries, and honoring her
mhm.
voice. She brings that same energy to her YouTube channel, whether she's sharing life lessons, encouraging women to break free from limiting beliefs, or diving into the strategies behind lasting financial freedom. Baina proudly calls herself a business nerd, obsessed with systems, structures, and smart money moves that
Mhm.
help women build lives they don't need to escape from. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Baina, for attending. My voice is a little bit crazy, a little bit hoarse today, but I am so excited that you are here.
No, the voice is seasoned. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, usually I do this kind of like a little bit later in the day, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. You have so many
Mhm,
pearls of wisdom, and I love how you talk about choosing yourself because I'm the
mhm,
kind of person who feels extremely guilty when I choose myself,
mhm,
whether it's, with my travel or saying no or
mhm,
doing things and putting myself first.
mhm.
So, what is some advice on how to get there? How to continually choose yourself when it's not the easiest thing to do for us as women?
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so when I was first starting to go down this road of choosing myself and putting, and trying to turn away from putting others first, I realized that the best way to serve the people that you love and the best way to serve people that you're aligned with is to be
Mm,
full yourself. Because if you really want to serve, you can't serve from a place of depletion, you can't serve from a place of being exhausted. But if you want to serve them fully, or if you want, especially the people that you love and you're close with, it's easier to give from your overflow, from your depletion. You can't give if there's nothing there. So you have
mhm.
to fill up yourself. And how to do this is actually really simple. It's not, some people think that they have to jump to the big, big things. It could just simply be the smallest decisions. Like sometimes when people are trying to, do this, they do the really big things, but it actually could be as simple as actually wearing like the hijab color that you want. It could
Mm,
be
mhm.
saying, "Hey, actually, I kind of don't want ice cream today. I want to go to the cafe and get some coffee or something." It starts off with the really small things, and then all of a sudden you're saying no or aligning with bigger things. So a lot of people think that everything is from like these huge big things, but it's actually from the small things. It's from the small decisions that you
Yes.
don't think that is worth anything. It's everything that builds up, it accumulates, and it becomes, a way of living actually.
That's so true. Because even, as a child with Muslim parents, it's
Mhm,
always, you know, think of others, think of yourself
mhm,
last. And going into being a married woman and then a mother, it's
mhm,
always put yourself last. But, it's
mhm,
really difficult. And even with my career as working as a teacher, I would
mhm,
find myself pouring into my students, pouring into
mhm,
these lesson plans,
mhm,
and really, really just like not really thinking about what I
mhm.
needed. So,
Yeah,
alhamdulillah, like for
alhamdulillah.
me, moving out of teaching and having to be on somebody else's clock and, you know,
Mhm,
be attuned to some other student's needs, and then moving into the remote space for me
mhm.
has helped a lot with putting myself first. So,
Yes.
I was telling my friend the other day, like, I wake up when I need
Mhm.
to, I do my prayers, I do my meditation, I do my Duolingo, my little brain
Yeah.
activities. Then I jump into my day, my work, my
Mhm.
emails, my calls. So it
Mhm.
really, really does help a lot when you have that
Mhm.
ability to put yourself first, put your needs first, and
Mhm.
then help others.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's this is reminding me of I was listening to this Islamic lecture and they were saying that, in order to give zakat, in
Mm,
order to give charity and to take part in this, you actually have to have something to be
yes,
able to give it.
to give,
So it's Islamic
absolutely.
principle as well. So
E-
definitely.
exactly. And, we're kind of, conditioned as women to be the martyr, to be the self-sacrificing one
Hmm.
at all times.
Hmm.
And I was thinking the other day that it also can be a form of manipulation because, when you're constantly telling your kids or your loved ones, I did this for you. I gave up
Hmm.
this to do this. I gave up my dreams to be a stay at home mom or do
Hmm.
whatever. It kind of is a form of manipulation to get your way sometimes. So it's a lot healthier to just say, hey, I can't do this, but I can do this. I
Yeah.
can't meet you at this time. I can't babysit at this time, but I can do this other thing on a time that works for me.
Hmm.
And, I think it just makes for better relationships. I really
It,
do.
yeah, it definitely is that way, and that's why I'm so glad that in
Mhm.
like religiously, if we look at Islam and how everything is set up, and like it's not supposed some a lot of these things are cultural or it's coming from like a different type of background, but the woman is supposed to be at ease, the woman is supposed to be taken
Mm.
care of, be able to have her own decisions and everything like that. So I'm happy that we have that foundation, and it's just I'm just happy that we have that foundation actually, so
I am
definitely.
too. I am
So
too,
you can always whip out that Quran.
I know.
Whip out the hadith.
Read this. I need to be at ease.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm. Yes.
So, how has I was thinking about self-love and
Mhm.
nurturing yourself. And for me, like even during the month, there are some periods of time where I need more rest. I need to kind of, just nest in my home and
Yes.
recharge. And as an introvert, I need to fill my cup and recharge my battery. So for me, my idea of self-love is giving myself that time to rest, going on my
Mhm.
morning walks, getting that
Mhm. Yeah.
matcha, and just checking in on myself through journaling
Mhm.
or even just doing my Duolingo. I love my Duolingo,
Yeah.
my little brain breaks.
Yes.
That's my self-love. For some other people, it might be shopping, it
Mhm.
might be, massages. For
Mhm.
you, what is your idea of self-love for you? How do you nurture yourself?
Well, self-love for me is connection with myself and being in tune with my emotions, being in tune with what I need. And sometimes we can be
Mm,
very, very hard on ourselves, especially if you're like ambitious, especially if you're overachiever, especially if you love to help other people. Sometimes you hold yourself up to a really, really high standard.
mhm,
But in order to love yourself and to even perform better in some cases, you have to take time to be connected and to see what aligns with you and what doesn't. And I love to do that through journaling. Yes. I love to do it
mhm.
through reading. I love to do nothing sometimes. Just stare
Absolutely.
or
Just
just
stare at a
going
wall.
somewhere with my sister or my family. So there's a lot of different ways, and getting connected with that and even figuring out what works for you is a form of self-love. Self-love is not just, relaxation is a big part, okay? But
Mhm.
it's not just that, but it's also getting in tune with yourself, doing inner work, and doing that sort of thing, and also having a bit of self discipline as well for the things that you want to do. So it's such a vast topic as well,
Mhm,
and such a
mhm.
vast way to express it and to embody that.
So true. So
Yes.
true. I'm also a huge reader and
Mhm.
move from fiction more to, self-help type books or,
Yes.
learning about things. So, what type of books are you into and what do you find the most
Mm.
value in your reading?
So for reading, I do like fiction still, but
I do- I still love fiction as well.
yes. So like
hmm
my self-help books are more on the reflective side because I really like to like memoirs and stuff like that. Like I just finished Nobu's memoir. I'm a huge foodie,
hmm
so he's a
hmm
chef, and like reading about his life and reading how like he gone through all these adversities and really seeing like his inner journey towards his love of food is like that's what I like because I read a whole lot of self-help books and I love self-help books, but it's different when you see somebody embodying it, like when you're reading their journey and you're reading their how they went through adversities and stuff like that. So I really am enjoying my memoirs. Surprisingly, I'm just getting into that. So I love books like that. I love like the regular self-help book. I remember, I think the first one that I ever read was Habits of Successful People,
Oh yeah.
but for the like it was for the teen version. They had like one for young
Oh.
adults. I remember seeing that in a like a bookstore where I was, and I just picked that up and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, stuff like Chicken Soup, like that's a classic. That's really
Mhm,
old,
mhm. Chicken soup for
but
the soul. Oh, yeah.
that. So like
Mhm,
those type the regular self-help books, but I'm really getting into like memoirs because you can see the inner like the actual application of it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm a really skeptical person a lot of
Mhm.
times, and if the book that I'm reading just doesn't speak to me, I'll just put it down. But I
Yeah.
really do like, things that speak to me that are realistic,
Mm.
that are, I can put one step and implement it into action and, you know, come back, maybe pick up another step.
Mhm.
So I'm all about just small incremental steps because
Yes.
5 months ago, I would not be on this live with you. It would not be possible because I have to have things perfect. I have
Mm.
to edit things so that it looks good.
Mm.
I can't have these ums and So
Yeah.
just the fact that I am on here with you speaking live, no take backs, no do-overs, that's really, really big for me. So thank you.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
I know this is very, very scary, but doing scary things, that
Mhm.
is also self-love to me. So
Yes.
I'm really proud of myself. This is huge. So, what are some daily or weekly rituals that you practice to keep your relationship with yourself strong and make
Mhm.
sure that you're always, in touch with your needs, your emotions, and, what you're feeling that week, and also stress, keeping those stress
Okay.
levels down?
So daily habits I would do is definitely prayer, of course, obviously, but prayer
Obviously,
is
yes.
it's a very good anchor. And also doing a lot of journaling, reflective stuff so I can get in tune with myself. And sometimes you don't even have to like pick up a pen. I like to do like voice notes. I like to, yeah, I love to do voice notes. I love to do mostly journaling, to be honest, because I'm a
Mm.
writer, so I love to journal and then like brain dumps and stuff like that. And basically, what a brain dump is that you just open up it could be a voice note, it could be a journal, and you just write down whatever, and just allow yourself to express yourself and
I
stuff
love
like that.
that. I really love
So,
that.
so it's like a good way because you're not focusing on making the grammar perfect. You're not focusing on anything like that. So just things that I like to incorporate things in my daily routine that allow you just to be you and to hear you and to solidify yourself and stuff like that. So definitely prayers, definitely du'as. a lot of my journaling these days is more about like reflecting and also trusting a lot, because if you are a perfectionist as well, you have a tendency to want to control everything, maybe
Yes, yes,
control every single
ma'am.
thing. So doing so I'm doing a lot of work in that department, like chilling and say, hey, God has you. Life is
Mhm.
not like that. You can chill. So that
Absolutely.
kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing daily these days. Weekly, something that I'm trying to incorporate is actually getting out the house more, because I am a homebody as well. I also am an introvert. So, but I feel like when you're alone and you may have some anxious tendencies or maybe like something like that, you don't have anything to like ground you because you're alone. And so going outside
Mm,
is definitely something that's there, because for example, if you see everyone, if you're thinking in your head, I can't do X, and then you go
mhm.
outside and see everyone else doing X, you say, oh,
I
okay.
can do that. Exactly.
Yeah, like it's good to
Mhm,
like have, I know that we're introverts, but social nutrients, as I like to call it, is vital. Okay, it's a
mm,
part of being human. So going outside is something else, and maybe walks. I heard that you like to
mhm.
walk. I'm
I
thinking
love
about
to
that.
walk. Yes.
So definitely, I want that. I want to try to do more morning walks as well, to get outside the house, to get some air in the morning. Well, it's too hot right now, but yeah.
Mhm. I'm in Texas. I know, I don't know about you, but where I am, it's very difficult, so I have to get up really, really early.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so uh, yeah, it's tough, but you fit it in either early in the morning or
Mhm.
late in the evening. But yes,
Mm.
social nutrients, I really, really love that. But
Yes.
for me, I was very, very outgoing as far as my social calendar,
Mhm.
going out to community events, masjid events,
Mhm.
conferences, lectures, and then
Mhm.
after COVID hit, it kind of decreased a bit, but
Mhm.
I am trying to get that back up. So, that's something to take into consideration, that the pandemic really did change
Mhm.
a lot of the ways that we interact with each other and socialize and, have that, IRL,
Yeah.
communication.
Funny thing is, nothing changed before or after. For me, nothing really changed, because I was homeschooled
Mhm.
for
You're a homeschool baby. I was a
yeah,
homeschool baby.
yeah.
Yay.
So
I
I
also
was
homeschooled my kids for a couple of years as well. Best years of their childhood was when I was
yes.
their teacher.
Yeah. So like with the homeschool, I was like inside all the time anyway, but I could go outside
Mm,
obviously, but I was like spending time inside more so than outside, because I was more of an over perfectionist, like overachiever perfectionist, and I had all these tasks that I needed to do. And for my
mhm,
homeschooling program, they gave you like the whole high school up front, like not for that
mm.
grade. So what I saw was a bunch of checklists. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, why would I go outside? I have all this checklist I have to do.
Bayinnah, you're
So
not going to believe this, but I did the exact same thing as a homeschooler. We had
yeah,
this is before the internet, I'm dating
yeah,
myself, but the homeschool program was a
mhm,
correspondence course. So they
yeah,
would send you all the books and all the
mhm,
assignments at once. So
yes,
instead of just like parceling it out, I would just knock them all out, mail my work, and
yes,
move on. So yeah,
yeah.
graduated in like 2 years.
Same, same. But for me, it was like six. But
You
I
were
was just
like,
like,
I'm gonna milk this out.
yeah.
Mhm.
So like, so when the pandemic happened, I was already doing online college too, just
Mm.
community colleges, just for 2 years anyway. So when it hit, everyone was going on the same platform I was on, and then when it finished, I was like, oh, what's the difference? So that's why I'm like, I really have to get out the house. I have to like, because I was just prioritizing getting things done, prioritizing work and all that sort of thing. So yes, I have to get my social nutrients. I do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Mhm.
this Ramadan was like so beautiful for me because, I made sure that I had a lot of community involvement,
Mhm.
hit the masjid for Taraweeh for the night prayers.
Mhm.
We did here in Texas, we have something called Suhoor Fest, where like a
That's nice.
whole, but yeah, it's so fun. And me as an introvert, when you hit the Sahur Fest, it starts like late at night until the early morning.
Mhm.
Just lots of booths all over for food and shopping and all kinds of things. And when I first walked in with my friends, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is a lot.
Overstimulation.
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 But yeah, as a typical introvert, I found a little
Mhm.
spot, a little quiet spot amidst the madness so I could people watch, eat my food,
Yeah.
and got a group of chairs, and it was just so beautiful. It was really,
Yes.
really nice. Saw a lot of students who were all grown, went to college,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like I was holding court.
Yeah.
They were coming in and out. It was so nice. It was
I
really,
love
really
that.
nice.
Ramadan is really
Mhm.
amazing. I like Tadweeh time is like my favorite.
Mhm.
I love
Yes.
it, especially because usually when it's Tadweeh time and I'm in an Arab country, so it's like
Mm.
such a nice vibe. You're going inside, air conditioned is good, good.
Oh, ah.
Everyone's chill. That's what I
Mhm.
love that. Yes.
Ah, man, I would love that experience. I have never ever had made Ramadan in a Muslim country.
Mm,
Um, I had Eid al Adha in a Muslim
mhm.
country, but that sounds like a beautiful experience, which would be like a whole interview in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds really nice,
Yeah, I've
really
been
nice.
living in an Arab country for about 13 years, so 13
Wow.
Ramadans. So
Wow, you see, we need to have another interview talking about living abroad and,
that'd be
you
so
know,
fun, actually.
and how you navigate that. That will be so
Yeah.
interesting because,
So 11,
yeah.
I think, because I'm from LA, so
Oh,
I
nice.
11 to now, actually. I went there for like a year or two, and then I came back. So majority of my life
Mm,
overseas. Yeah.
I see. I see. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna have so many experiences, so many stories to
Hmm.
tell. That is
Yeah.
incredible. Yes, and I bet the food is just incredible as well.
Yeah, just came back from like the hospital,
Mhm.
and they had like for a checkup, and they had like all these foods
Oh,
lists from all
wow.
over the place in the cafeteria. So yeah.
Not like U.S. cafeteria food at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. That is beautiful. Yes, we definitely have to have a part two to talk about that for sure.
No problem.
Absolutely.
I'd be so
So,
down. I have
mhm.
so many stories, so many stuff. Yes.
Yes, I'm sure you do because I'm just visiting for a couple of weeks and I've got stories. So I
Yes.
know that after 11 years, you've got some things to say. Absolutely. So, like, what are some things you do when self-doubt starts to creep in? Maybe you're doubting the journey, you're doubting the dream. What do
Mhm.
you do to stay grounded and to stay focused on your goals?
Well, for starting, when self-doubt does creep in, which sometimes it does, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people think that if I'm healed or if I love myself a lot, then I won't automatically, the doubt will go away. That's
Mm.
not necessarily the case. What happens is that you still get it, but instead of focusing on it, it's more of like background noise, and you're able to compartmentalize.
Girl, that word has me in a chokehold too.
Compartmentalize it
Mhm.
better. I always mess up
Yes.
on that word. Anyway, so
Mhm.
you're better equipped to let that slide and have it just be background noise. But when it does come in, depending on the severity, you can, like, for me, if I get like major self doubt, straight to my parents. mom,
Mm.
mom, dad, or
Mhm.
something like that. But if it's like regular self doubt, what I do is first is I just stop and for I ask God to help me. I just straight up ask, because a lot of people that I've talked to, some of them feel like they don't want to ask. They think like their self doubt is trivial or something like that.
Mm.
But it's okay. You can just ask. He's like he is God. Obviously, he's Allah. Like he can help
Absolutely.
you with whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you're trying to like pick what shoelace you want to wear, as people say.
Mhm.
Anyway, so you can
That's
ask as well.
exactly right. I just ask for the most trivial of things, not just, the big things like
Mm.
marriage and job opportunities, like tiny things like what to have for lunch,
Yes.
um, having a disagreement with a beloved friend and, like what do I do? What is the best approach? And same
Yeah.
for you. I also go to my mom for everything like, Mom, this is what happened. Did I handle it
Mhm.
correctly? And even at my big grown age, just going to your mother, going to an elder,
Mhm.
an auntie, an elder in the community, and getting that
Yes.
wisdom, it's very valuable. And I think that, we've lost that a lot in the West. I don't know about in the East just as yet, but in the
Mhm.
West, we think like we have to have all the answers and, it
Mhm.
has to be within us. And it's like, no, we've got elders here who have lived on this
Yes.
planet longer and have been through the exact same things. So
Mhm.
definitely
Yes.
utilize them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then for the actually, that's a really good point. Actually, I never thought of it that way, but yes, that's 100% correct. But also, when it comes to like if you're by yourself, you can ask God for help as well, of course. And then also for me, like I like to get everything out or just chill. Two things: either get it
Yes.
out or just chill. Because
Exactly.
so for example, like I was getting nervous over something. I'm just like, you know what? Let's just actually I was nervous about this interview because this is my
Uh-huh.
first time doing it. So what did I
Hmm.
do? I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have a good time. It's not that serious. It's not that
Exactly. It's
serious.
not that deep. We can do it.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
like doing that, and if it's a bit tough, then asking God for help. I love to do istikara as well. I have it's basically downloaded on my
Mm-hmm.
phone, and istikara is the prayer that you do in Islamic faith tradition. There's a prayer that you can ask God for help, and He'll like guide you to the thing that's best for you. So
Yes.
doing that sort of thing. So now you don't even have to stress you don't even have the stress of you don't have to use up the
Hmm.
brain power. I'm all about
Yes.
efficiency. You just
Absolutely.
delegate, delegate up.
And I really feel that our faith is just
Yes.
so perfectly attuned to
Mhm.
introverts. Of course, it's attuned to everyone, but just being
Yeah.
an introvert or being a perfectionist, our
Hmm.
faith really, really guides us to just let go. Okay, you don't know this is a huge decision. Make your
Hmm.
istikhara and then keep it
Yes,
moving. It is really liberating. That is a
it
great
is.
point. It is a great
Yes.
point. Absolutely. So, as someone who is a serial pushover and someone who is, I dread confrontation. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
this year I have learned so much about myself and
Hmm.
have learned to stand up for myself so much. I'm
Hmm.
still a work in progress, but through this year, I have had some really, really important talks with loved ones and have finally started asserting myself, my likes, my dislikes, my
Hmm.
preferences. And it really rocked the boat. It really shook a lot of things up. And,
Hmm.
you know, um, I don't have it all together yet, but I'm
Hmm.
feeling really empowered that,
Yes.
at my big age of over 40, I am
Hmm.
finally starting to say, no, what you did was disrespectful. It hurt
Hmm.
me. And this is why moving forward, I would like to have this type of relationship with you. And, standing up for myself, I mean, my voice, I couldn't breathe sometimes
Mm.
because it was so difficult. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how people do this. But it's such a growing and learning experience. And the relationships that I want to cultivate and that have been, with me forever, they're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, cool. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. And the
Yes.
people who are like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. And I don't care how you feel, that
Hmm.
we have kind of grown apart, or the relationship
Hmm.
was severed. So
Hmm.
it's crazy tough, Bayinnah. It is crazy
Yeah.
tough. But what are some ways that you have incorporated standing up for yourself and
Mhm.
standing in your power?
Well, the best way that I have stood up for myself is exactly like the way that you're mentioning. Like,
Mm.
like it's similar to what I said before. When people think they have to do the huge things at first, it's okay for you to start with your voice shaking. It's okay for you to start with like your mind is racing, your heart is beating, you hear it in your ears. It's completely fine for you to start that way, and it's completely fine to start with the small things. Like if somebody, like for example, if if you go into a cash register and the person's like really rude or something, like that's not a very good example, but hey, we'll go with it anyway. So so, for example, let's just say it was a really rude cash register or something. You can say, "Hey, I actually don't like that," and then you're never going to see them
Mm.
again. So it's like really
Right.
easy to do.
Low
So
stakes.
yeah, of course, like that. So the best way that I have stood up for myself was kind of also when I'm not doing it. How do I feel? How long does it take me
Mm.
to recover? How long does it take me to align? You can see like the amount of energy and the vibe that you're having when you're not doing that. And so that is more of an incentive for you to speak up for yourself in a small way because you remember what it felt like when you didn't. So that's have
Mhm.
really has been the two principles that help me. Is first starting small is okay. If it's something as small as like if someone puts down something in a place that you don't want them to, you can say, "Can you
Mhm.
put that over there?" It's like very simple, that kind of stuff, and then you can build yourself up. Because I'm 100% sure that in your case, you had so many, you had like a lot behind that. A lot of people just see you like coming up and saying something, but there has definitely been times, I'm 100% certain, where before it was like small things. Maybe you read something about it,
Oh,
maybe you did
yes.
an article about it, stuff that you thought that wasn't doing anything that led you up to have that courage. It didn't come out of it nowhere. It came out from every single thing that you thought wasn't doing anything. Maybe it was a step where you were saying like, I want to say it, but I can't say it. That
Mhm.
even was a step in the
Mhm.
correct direction. So it's not just it's everything that you're doing, it's everything you're consuming, and a lot of people think that it just comes out. No, no, no. It's okay for if that's the
It
case,
does not.
but it's okay
Mhm.
if that's the case. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you and I'm rooting for you
Mhm.
too. But every single time you're trying to do something with intention, you are walking towards that and you do get to that place where you take the courage, even if you're shaking, even if you feel
Mhm.
like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. That, even with
Yes.
that, every single thing that you're doing is doing something. So, yes.
Absolutely. Good morning, El Smith. Thank you for joining the live. We appreciate it. Any questions you have for our guest, Bayinnah, just drop it in the chat and we'll be happy to address it. Thank you so much. But yes, what you said about feeling how you being in tune with how you feel when you don't address the issue
Mhm,
was so key. That was so key because, you know, again, I've been conditioned to just put things down, make
mhm.
70 excuses. We
I
hear
know.
that all the time.
Mhm,
Sweep it under the rug, think the best of your brother or your sister. But,
mhm,
it was killing me. And it was It was damaging
Yeah.
me, and my nervous system was shot. So,
Yeah.
just something as simple as, um, if you can't make this coffee date that we have planned to go on, just let me know so that I don't get dressed and get ready. And then 5 minutes before you tell me you can't come.
Mhm.
Just setting those boundaries. I don't like, for example, rough housing.
Mhm.
Sometimes your spouse or your siblings will want to wrestle with you and
Yeah.
do those kind of things. I don't like that. This
Yes.
is my body. I don't want to do that. That's
Yeah.
not my thing. you
Yes.
know, so it doesn't even have to be a big issue. It could just be something like when you said that, my favorite TV show is stupid. you know,
Yes.
that hurt my
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
So me like learning to speak up, and
Mhm.
I don't want to overcorrect in the other direction
Yeah.
because sometimes it gets a little bit addicting and you're just like,
Yeah.
now you're nitpicking on silly little small things like,
Yeah.
you didn't put the toilet seat down. And I've told you
Yeah.
several times. So
Yes.
I just, I'm still finding that balance, but
Mhm.
it's been really, really nice, doing it scared, speaking
Mhm.
up, having those conversations. For me, I was just talking to my mother about this, writing it out. If my voice is shaking and I'm too scared, too nervous,
Mhm.
just writing an email to that loved one, writing a long text message to that loved one, and oh my, I can get my thoughts out so well and
Mhm.
without the emotion, without the tears, without the
Yes.
shaky voice. And then, we can talk about it a little bit through text message or email
Mhm.
and then have the conversation in person afterwards. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a learning process, and it's nerve-wracking, but I'm really, really grateful that, I'm getting there. I'm learning to have those healthy boundaries with my loved ones. And
Mhm.
if something hurts me, I'm learning just to say it in a kind and respectful way.
Mhm. Yes, and
Absolutely.
even what you were just saying, like like when I was saying that there's stuff that you have done to lead up to this point, like for you to
Hmm.
even put up a boundary, you have to know what your boundaries are. You have to think
Oh my
about them.
God. Yeah.
You
Please
have
speak
to
on. Speak on.
like for example, like how can you like you have to be very clear with yourself. This is something that I like. That's what my name means actually. Bayinnah means clarity. So
Yes.
like being clear with yourself and being in tune with yourself, being clear with yourself, being in tune with yourself, and knowing what you like and what you don't like. And you can do that by being mindful when you're in converse, making you uncomfortable, what situations are making you not want to be there, like having that sort of
Hmm.
thing and um, having that sort of thing and having that
Oh, I think we're having a little bit of technical issues, but I will wait and see if she comes back. Oh, this conversation was so good. So good. But yes, having those clear conversations are so impactful. And L. Smith said, self expression is so important when things impact you. Yes, absolutely. So, there you go. Yay.
yes,
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back.
yeah,
But yes, L. Smith was talking about self-expression is also so important when things are impacting you. So
mhm,
hitting that journal, hitting those voice notes,
yes,
journaling has been so helpful for me as well.
yes,
Yes.
especially
So
as
go ahead and
writers.
finish. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah,
as writers, you're just,
Hmm.
you're scribbling, you're writing things down, and
Hmm.
then you come upon something that's really like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
And
Patterns, thought
let's let
patterns.
this
Hmm.
pattern,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Oh, thank you, El Smith. Thank you for listening in and participating. It really makes for an interesting discussion.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you have any questions for the guests, please type them in. This is so good. This is really, really good. So, inspiration when you're busy. So,
Hmm.
how do you stay inspired and tapped into your creativity during those really busy times of work, family coming to visit,
Hmm.
um, times where maybe you're a full-time student even.
Yeah.
How do you stay inspired and in your creativity bag?
I think for me, this might be a boring answer because I think I'm just a creative person. Like
Mm,
I have to do it. Like it's just
mhm.
me. So I actually started most of like my podcast and my books all when I was a full-time student. So I have to do it because if it's just math, if it's just everything, I love math. Okay, maybe not as much, but I do appreciate math. I understand its purpose. But even with these things, like I have to have some kind of creative thing I have to do. And because I've always been the person that only does things that I want to do or like only do things that lead to what I want to do. I think it's my personality. Then it's like it's easy for me to just continually do it. The problem is not doing it. It's not doing it. That is, yeah. So, like, for example, in homeschool, I could easily sit there for 10 hours and do work. And like it and like try to do it. But then, like, the problem is I need to turn it off sometimes. I need to chill. I need to go to the mall with my sister. I need to get something to eat. That that's the problem. How do you turn it off? How do you turn it off?
That is
Yeah.
so fascinating how your brain works and how you operate, because for me it is periods of intense creativity where
Mhm.
I'm painting every day, I'm journaling every day, I'm reading every day. I am exploring film because I love film, I love
Mhm.
movies, I love that every single day. And then there are periods of total inactivity where I'm just not inspired. And
Mhm.
you couldn't make me pick up the paintbrush. You could not make me do it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, for me, it's more like an ebb and flow. But for you, it's
Mhm.
just like just a strong gush of creativity where,
Yeah.
and
If
you hear of a lot of those greats who are just like they forget to eat. Because I will
yeah.
never forget to eat.
Yeah. There's
Mhm.
oh wait, I've just completely forgot what I was gonna say, but it was gonna be it was good.
That's okay. Girl, we're
Yes.
live. We're doing it off the dome. I'm loving this conversation. But yeah, for me, creativity comes in spurts, and there are some times where it depending on what's going on in my life, um, family matters, relationship matters, friendship matters.
Mhm.
It'll take priority in my mind, and once that issue settles down, then I can get back to my creativity. But for some reason, I don't feel like I can do two at the same time. So I was just wondering if you had any insight to that, and, what are some ways that you can ease back into the creative space after being away for a
Mhm.
while? But girl, you seem to be
Yeah.
a phenom.
I mean, I think the thing that helped me because I still like sometimes because I have this everything that I do I love. Sometimes I have the problem of trying to do it all at the same time and that doesn't work. So I like the main thing that helped me was actually like taking the time to see what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses, even if and this can work for anyone because everyone has different strengths and different weaknesses. So, and like figuring out what your personality type is, or like what, like an introvert, an extrovert, you're maybe you're MBTI or something, and see what works, what productivity tips work for you. So, like for example, like for me, I can't do too many things at one time. I don't get anything done. So knowing that about myself, I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna have theme days. I'm gonna have this day for this thing and this day for that thing. So I don't switch a lot. Or like for I never been an ebb and flow person, so I'm trying to like get in the headspace.
You're like, what does that
I
mean?
yeah. Like
But that's
I
cool.
just
You
like
have a
to go
regimented
hard.
itinerary like Monday, content creation, Tuesday, editing, Wednesday, study, Thursday, memorization, Friday, you know, Juma
Fun,
and worship, Suratul Kahf, you
funny,
know.
funny you say that because this is what I'm trying to do and not what I'm actually doing.
Same.
Like for
Mm.
like right now, it's like sometimes you feel like the drive to do this one more. So then
Mm.
you do that, or you have like an urgency thing. So in my head, I just have like a to-do list and like deadlines. And so then I can like feel what urgency it is and just do the thing that's urgent. Or like, for example, I have a task to do, but it's due tomorrow. So I'm not going to deal with that. so, like, so like that's,
See,
I need,
me,
I'm
that would be
trying.
constantly in my brain, like task for tomorrow.
I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
I've done it before on time. Like I never, so I don't need
Mhm.
to. It's tomorrow.
Yes, yes. That's
Yeah,
really healthy. That's super healthy, you know?
yeah. It has
But
it was had maybe it's my because of like my parents and how
mm,
they like I see my dad working all the time. So like he's a study guy. Like we have like a bunch of bookcases and stuff. So
mhm.
he just finds his time and he sits down and he studies, or he goes here and he's like, "Oh, I want to work out, so I'll go work out." So I guess I picked it up from watching my parents.
That's beautiful. I mean, when you see routine, when you see
Hmm.
discipline, when you see people who have goals and accomplish them, that's half the battle right there, you know. My parents are the same way. I always saw them either, you know, going to school, teaching, studying. My father and my mother homeschooled us, so we had that regimented schedule, and
Hmm.
at the same time, you know, my mother went and got her PhD when we were growing up. And, you know, it's just, it was, you see it, so you know you can achieve it. And, you know, just like
Hmm.
traveling, my mother
Hmm.
was talking to me about this the other day. It's like a lot of people don't see that travel and exploring the world and
Hmm.
seeing new things can be done, so they
Hmm.
don't even think to dream it. And you know,
Hmm.
she was getting on me about, you know, sharing this, you know, this travel bug with my children, and you know,
Hmm.
helping them get their passports, and so that we
Yes.
can do more as a family. So it's very true. When you see it, you know you can do it. And
Hmm.
you know, it's something that I had to sit with and say, you know what, she's right. You know, she's really right. So L.
Yes.
Smith asks, how can I focus my mind to get in my creative mode? Because with all the distractions today, social
Yeah.
media, this, that, it's very difficult
Hmm.
for Gen Z, young millennials to actually just even enter the creative mode. So I think
Hmm.
you'd be excellent to answer this
Yes.
question.
So, how do you focus to get in creative mode? Well, what do you want to be creative about is like the first thing. Is like, what is it? Is it more like writing? Is it painting or something like that? And I find the most effective way, even when I don't want to do it because I'm like tired or something, if I don't want to do it, then what I do is I set, like, I just, if it's a book, if I'm trying to get a book done, or if I'm trying to like write an article or a blog, I'll just first write the to-do list of it happening and just say, okay, I'm just going to write a word. And the thing that's going to happen is that your brain is going to want to continue. If you just write the, your brain is going to be like, I need to finish the sentence. And then you want to finish the next sentence and you automatically get into it. If it's painting, you'd be like, I'm just going to do one stroke. I'm just going to take the paint out. That's it. But then once you see the paint out, then you're like, well, the paint is out.
The paint is out.
So
It's
I might as
drying up.
well, yeah, I have the paper here. Might as well just do one thing. Okay, then you kind of get into it. But another trick that I like to do, especially if it's with procrastination or with writer's block, is really helpful. Is that you write when you can't write anything or you can't paint anything or you can't do anything creative, you write or you talk about why you can't be creative, and that gives you in a creative mode.
Mm,
So,
interesting. That's
like for
fascinating.
So, for example, if I
Hmm.
can't write, then I say, okay, and I have these feelings. I feel these feelings of not being able to write. I'm procrastinating. It doesn't feel good, or like
Hmm.
I want to get it done. You could just write your emotions, and then you're already in the writing mode. So, like for example, like the other day, I was like, okay, I'm procrastinating. I don't feel like doing it. And I'm writing that, and then you're already writing mode.
Mm,
So that already gets
hmm.
the blood flowing. It's already get the creativity flowing. So yes, and sometimes that just means it's a sign to rest, because not every single time that you're trying to force your creativity to happen doesn't mean like that's the perfect time. Sometimes you just need to rest, and that's okay, because sometimes we can get
Absolutely.
burnt out, be too hard on ourselves, or do something like that. So you can try out those things. If these things are not working and you're feeling your head hurt, perhaps it's time for a nap. Maybe you can get some tea. Maybe you can like put on something creative, for whatever that is. That really helps, because now you're seeing something. It's like so beautiful or so beautifully written, and you're like, wow, you get inspired and you get that. So maybe while you're
Yes,
resting, putting something creative on or watching someone doing that specific creative thing that you want to do, that feels good, especially if
absolutely.
you're resting, you're like, wow, they're doing so much, it's so amazing, and then you want to, now you feel like, yay, I want to do it after the 5 minutes that I want to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I find that when I sleep and when I rest, I actually dream about the answer to something that I'm trying to write, something that I'm
Mhm,
trying to create or do.
mhm,
And it's very weird, but I'll wake up with the answer, and I have to write it down
mhm.
immediately before I forget.
Yes.
But a lot of creatives, that's what happens.
Mhm.
Sleeping, the act of sleeping, or being that little middle space between awake and asleep,
Or
you can
washing
really,
dishes.
yes, or
Washing.
folding laundry, you can
Yes.
really think of a lot of creative things to do and be inspired. So, yeah, just,
Yes.
take that nap. It might be the answer to your problem.
Yeah.
Well, Baina, this has been so much fun, and this has
Mhm,
been an amazing conversation. Can you
mhm,
please tell us about your channel, products?
mhm.
I know that you have a newsletter as well. Anything
Yeah.
that you want to talk about so that we can go and subscribe to you, follow you, and keep in
Mhm.
touch with you?
Okay, so for the okay, so nerves. Remember what we said in the earlier thing? It's fun. Okay,
Yes,
so
it is fun.
so basically, my name is Bayinnah, and I just came out with a book talking about this exact topic. Well, not this exact topic. One of the topics in the books, which is called Letters of the In Between. It's about
Mm.
from going from who you used to be to who you are, or where you're meant to be, and kind of in this weird middle in between space. So I love talking about this because living your dream life is one of my biggest passions. So I have that. I do have a podcast as well called Muslim Women Love Funds, which is about um, financial freedom and from a faith based point of view. And yes, I also have workbooks. So if you want to go from overwhelmed to calm or any of the things that we mentioned, I don't have anything on creativity yet, but I'm thinking about it now that after this after this wonderful interview, but it's called Self Help Digital, and that has workbooks. So the one that I have up right now is about going from overwhelmed to calm, grounding into yourself, knowing what you like and what you don't like, and being able to operate from a place of inner knowing and trust. So
Oh,
that's basically
wow.
everything that I'm doing right now.
I'll
Yes.
definitely be checking that out. That sounds
Yes.
so beautiful. And I'm all about living a life of ease, calm, peace, and we
Hustle
are going to
culture
have
is not for me.
it's not
Hustle
for
culture.
anybody, I don't think. I do
Yes.
not think so. I'll
Mhm,
definitely be following that and
mhm.
purchasing. I'm just so, so impressed with you. And every video, I learned something new. So I deeply appreciate this. Thank you so much. An hour just flew by. Thank you so
Yes.
much. All right, everyone, please subscribe to Bayinnah's channel. It'll be in the description box after the live repopulates, whatever it does. It'll be there. And thank you so much. Please join us for our Beyond Enough retreat as well. We're going to be in the
Mhm,
UK October 7th through 14th as well. So we will have more talk about abundance and peace. And,
mhm.
you know, I might need to talk to Bayinnah about, some lectures or something about this financial freedom as well. So,
Yes.
yeah, so subscribe, like, comment. Thank you guys so much for the people who listened in. And for Replay Gang, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Bye.